They show us very dark man today, the activist, the fearless voice, the man with the fight for Nigeria. But nobody tells you about the 8 years before the fame. Nobody told you about the brake pads, the gambling, the mud floor, the church food. And that is the lie, because we think success happens. We believe that one day a person wakes up and becomes a hero, but that is not how it works. I want to tell you the real story of Very Dark Black Man, not the edited version, not the highlight reel, the full story, straight from his own mouth. Vincent Martins Otse, born April 8, 1994 in Kaduna. Father was a mechanic. Mother struggled to feed the family. VDM shared how his primary school education was frustrated because his mother had to move from place to place, chasing survival. Around 2005, when they moved to the DBA area of Abuja, his mother finally got a job at a school. The salary? 5,000 naira per month. And most of that 5,000 went to transport. There was nothing left. According to his testimony, their home had a mud floor, no tiles, no ceiling. When it rained, water seeped everywhere. His mother had to wake up early and go into the bush to bathe because there was no toilet. His younger sisters faced the same struggle. This is the very dark man nobody talks about. So what did he do? He hustled. Before he was even 12 years old, he was already gambling. 10 naira, 5 naira, anything to survive. He went to mechanic shops and collected old brake pads, sold them for 20 naira, 10 naira. He worked at a snooker table. He sold tea and bread in the evenings. He worked as a sales boy at a public bathroom, making sure to hit 300 naira every day so the owner would get their cut and he could keep the rest. He sent that money to his mother. I have here for you what you need to understand. VDM was not just hustling unthinkingly. Even as a small boy, he was thinking. He was observing. He was planning. Around 2008 or 2009, his mother moved the family into Gospel Life Redemption Church in Abuja. They lived inside the church. He did camera work for 5,000 naira a month, but the church told him it was God's work, so why should they pay well? The family survived by sharing food from Thanksgiving offerings. Rice, gari, beans. The boys would carry the bags upstairs and divide them among themselves. VDM said he told the pastor one day what they did with the food they collected, and the pastor replied that it was okay as long as they didn't sell the food. And that is when something shifted in him. He said to himself, I cannot continue like this. It is time to learn a skill. Now here is where the plan phase begins. From 2011 to 2013, Very Dark Black Man decided to learn hair making. Not barbing, hair making, women's hair. And when people asked him why, his answer was strategic. He said, there are too many men doing barbing, but very few men are doing women's hair. If I enter that space, I will stand out. Women will prefer a man who can do their hair well because it is rare. That is not luck. That is a strategy. He learned weaving, twisting, braiding. Million braids which cost 20,000 naira back then. He learned how to fix lace wigs and closures. And he was so dedicated that he would sit in the salon from morning until night, even when he was not getting paid as a learner. But learning the skill was not enough. He needed customers. So around 2013 or 2014, when ShopRite opened in the Apo resettlement in Abuja, VDM printed business cards. It cost him 2,000 naira. That was big money for him, but he invested it. Then he did something brilliant. He would go to ShopRite, walk up to anyone with dreadlocks and say, I am a professional lock technician. Let me do your hair for free. Could you try me? Free. Some people said no. Some people said they already had someone. But VDM insisted. Free service, no charge. Just let me prove myself. And when he finished their hair and they loved it, he would say, normally I charge 4,000 naira for home service. But since this is your first time, give me transport. 1,000 naira, 1,500 naira, anything. He did this over and over. He sacrificed short-term money to build long-term trust. And it worked. People started calling him. People started recommending him. Before long, he was charging 5,000 naira per session. Some customers complained. Some left. But he did not drop his price. He held his value. That is the act phase. And then came the breakthrough. During the 2018 Big Brother Naija season, VeryDarkMan did dreadlocks for Toby Bakre, also known as Number 38. That connection opened doors. Celebrities started calling. His reputation grew. By the time he transitioned into activism in 2022, at age 28, he already had 8 years of grinding behind him. 8 years of brake pads and gambling and hair salons and free services and sacrifice. I have here for you what VDM said in his own words that you need to hear. He said that when you are dedicated to your art and have a clean heart, many doors will open for you. He said, "I have always had opinions about things. I have always had insight. This has always been my personality. I did not learn it because of popularity. It has always been my character." And this is where Proverbs 22:29 comes in. Do you see a man skilled in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. VeryDarkBlackMan was skilled in his work. He was dedicated. He feared God even while hustling. And today, he stands before the nation. So what is the lesson for you? Stop waiting for one big break. Stop thinking success is about luck, connections, or going viral. VDM spent 8 years grinding in the shadows before anyone knew his name. 8 years of brake pads and hair salons and complimentary services. 8 years of pray, plan, and act. The pray phase is not just church attendance. It is seeking God while you hustle. It is fearing God even when you are desperate. VDM said it himself. He feared God. That is why he did not cheat people. That is why he worked with integrity. The plan phase is not just dreaming. It is observing the market. It is choosing women's hair over barbing because there is less competition. It is printing business cards and offering free services to build trust. It is raising your prices even when customers complain because you know your value. The act phase is not just about working hard. It is working smart. It is showing up every day. It is sacrificing short-term money for long-term positioning. It is holding your value even when people leave. That is the VeryDarkMan blueprint. That is how you turn 8 years of struggle into a platform that shakes a nation. So stop complaining about the system. Stop waiting for someone to discover you. Stop thinking you need connections, money, or luck. I think you need dedication. I think you need a strategy. You need integrity. You need to pray, plan, and act. Pray, plan, and act. We move.